Hey guys, welcome to Motoroids. My name is Amit and this, as you know, is the MG Comet EV. Now, you must have seen a lot of videos about this car, including our own review as well. But today in this video, I'm going to tell you some amazing facts about this car that you probably are not aware of, and also a few things which don't go in favor of this car. So without any ado, let's get started. Now, all of us know that India is a very cost-conscious market, and in that regard, this car really stands out because this is the most economical car that you can buy. Not just that, this is also the most economical car to run, and for that I have done a separate video where I have broken down everything: the cost of acquisition, the cost of running, the difference in the price, as well as the running costs of the Comet EV vis-a-vis the Tiago EV, the Tiago EV Long Range and the EC3, and also compared it with petrol and diesel cars. So do watch that video, and the savings that you'll make on this car over a period of 5 years is absolutely phenomenal. So in that sense, this is the cheapest car that you can buy and run in India. Number 2, and it's a very interesting fact: the battery pack and the battery management system, along with the lightweight of this car, make it the most efficient electric car across the entry level segment. This car has a battery pack of only 17.3 kilowatt hour, and still the rated range on this car is 230 kilometers. Not just that, based on its rated range, the real world range should have been lower, but that's not the case. Let's compare it with the Tiago EV. The Tiago EV has a bigger battery pack of 19.2 kilowatt hour and the rated range is 240 kilometers. However, the real world range of the Comet EV is 190, which is more than the Tiago EV, and by as much as 25 to 30 kilometers. So despite having a smaller battery pack, this car has a better real world range. Let's also compare this with the Tiago EV Long Range, where the rated range is 315 kilometers, but the real world range is 215 kilometers only, which is only 25 to 30 kilometers more than this car, and for a much bigger price tag. The much more expensive EC3 has a rated range of 320, but the real world range is only 220, which again is only 30-35 kilometers more than this car. What that effectively means is that the smaller battery pack here will cost you less money to charge, but even with the smaller battery pack, this car has the power to go a longer distance, and that essentially means that you can go longer by charging for shorter durations and while also paying smaller bills. Now, the third amazing fact about the Comet is that while it's a small car, it's very compact, it's not as big as its competitors, but the build quality, the finish and the materials on the inside are absolutely top notch. You'll not find any inconsistent panel gaps. The quality of chrome, the quality of lights, the way the color has been finished, the materials that have been used inside, all of that makes it feel like a premium product, and that really makes it stand apart, especially if you're a customer who pays a lot of attention to detail. The fourth amazing fact about the MG Comet is a lot of people have been asking us whether this car can go off the road. Of course, this is not an off-roader, so it's not going to off-road, but if you want to take it off the paved road onto a place like this, which isn't very well paved, there are some rough surfaces, there are undulations, and the car needs to have a decent ground clearance, this car has the capability, despite its small 12-inch wheels, to really amaze you with its capability to go off the paved route. And there are two reasons why. One is the generous ground clearance of about 165 mm, and the second is the short wheelbase, which allows it to go over bad surfaces rather easily. I'm pretty sure that you would not have imagined that I'm going to go out and tell you this fact about this amazing little car. While the Comet EV may come across as a very boring car to a lot of you, but you should know the fact that this car has rear wheel drive, and when you are in the mood you can really slide it around and it can be a ton of fun. Now the sixth amazing fact about the MG Comet EV is a kind of a negative and a positive. So as you can see, this car is not very long. However, this is pretty tall. In fact, it's taller than the Tiago EV and taller than the EC3 as well. It's narrower, which is an advantage in stop-start traffic in congested city conditions. It has a small wheelbase, which makes it very easy to maneuver. Sure, it doesn't have as much space as some of its other counterparts, but it's damn easy to maneuver in congested cities like the one that I live in, that is Mumbai, and it's really easy to park as well. So it's compact dimensions, especially if you're going to be traveling alone or with a passenger or two, if you're not going to be driving on the highways. This car really presents itself as a car which requires minimal effort to drive in congested areas and to park easily. Now the seventh amazing fact about the Comet EV is that despite its short dimensions, it's not a very long car. Just look at the length of this door. This is a really long door, and it's so for a reason. Now I'm a pretty well built guy myself, and my height is 5 feet 10, and I can probably move it a little forward to get in my proper driving position. Now with my driving position set, all I have to do is pull this lever like so, and to get inside is damn easy because of this tall entry. And once you get inside and put the seat back in its position, the amount of knee room that you get is rather surprising for a car that is as small as this one and with only two front doors. So I really cannot complain about the knee room here, and for a short compact car, this actually can travel with 4 passengers without any problem. Of course, it's a city runabout. It's not a car which is meant for really long distances, but if you are going to be driving long distances within the city, I don't really think it's going to be a problem. Also, the AC works very strongly, so even if it's a hot day, you won't have any trouble. And this little glass here also prevents you from feeling claustrophobic. This handle here also is amazing, especially if you're getting down from the other side, because you have a handle up front as well. So if you want to get out, that also is pretty easy, and you don't really have to be a contortionist to get in and get out. The space for a compact car has really been very well managed. The eighth unusually amazing thing about this compact car is the amount of storage space that it provides. As you can see, there's this 1 liter water bottle that I've stored here. There is some stuff lying here. My wallet is here. And if you have a look here, you have this place where I have stored my cell phones. You have the same amount of space on the other door panel as well. The headroom is pretty amazing. You have these 2 small cubby holes where you can put your freshener, or you can really put the car's key as well. And while there isn't a glove box, I really cannot complain about the open spaces, the storage spaces that this car has. You have this really open space to move your leg around for the driver as well as for the passenger. So the amount of space that you have, and also how tastefully the interior has been appointed. The choice of colors, this grey along with this dull white, this ivory white, all of this has been very tastefully chosen. The quality of materials is very good, and you really feel like you're sitting in a car which is a segment above that it represents. So in terms of the colors, the way the interior storage spaces have been appointed, and the materials, it does look like a very premium car from the inside. The ninth amazing thing that you got to appreciate about this little beauty is these 10.25-inch screens, which are high-res, very easy to use. And not just that, they also come loaded with technology like connected car tech, as well as wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is absent on some other cars within the segment. So in terms of tech also, this car is very well appointed. Finally, with 42 PS of power and 110 Newton meters of torque, by the way, which is pretty good as compared to the other cars in the segment, This may not sound like a car which is very fast, but trust me this car can really accelerate very quickly from 0 to 60, and it also comes with drive modes to select from. So if you're in the mood to have a little bit peppier acceleration, you can really switch to the sports mode. You have the eco, normal and sports mode to choose from, and off the line this car really feels very peppy, very keen to accelerate, and doesn't feel boring at all. In the sport mode, the top speed, the real top speed is 100 kilometers per hour, which is sufficient for all practical purposes within the city. And even if you are going for a short distance away from the city, 100 kilometers per hour is not too bad a top speed to rely on. So as you saw, this car is a novel experiment and brings a lot of new things to the table for the urban commuter. And of course, while it's a fantastic city runabout, it has its own set of flaws as well. Now, while I don't have any problems whatsoever with this car's range, there are some other things which may not go down well with a lot of other customers. And let's quickly go through all of those things which may dissuade you from probably buying this car. First is its dimensions, and some people want their car to look bigger, and this is meant to be a compact city runabout which deals with the city traffic and congested areas in a very effective manner. So in that sense, this car is not the biggest or doesn't have the grandest presence. However, whenever you take this car out on the road, people turn around, have a look, craning necks from the cars or from the people who are on two-wheelers. This is a total attention magnet, and people do turn around and have a look at this car, but the shape is a little oddball and is not probably to everyone's taste. The second problem that some people may face with this car is that it's not the most stable of the cars. It has a narrow track, it doesn't have the longest wheelbase, and with these narrow tires, this is not probably the most reliable cars if you want to be driving it hard around bends or on the highway. So in terms of absolute highway stability, probably this is not the car that you should be going with, but there's absolutely no problem within the city. Third issue that I see with this car, and while I won't call the space at the back seat a problem, there is absolutely no space when it comes to the storage area in the boot. However, the one good thing that you have is that the seats are 50-50 split, and if you're traveling only with one passenger or two, you have some space where you can put your luggage, and even if you're going out of town, you can drop the seats down and you will have a sufficient amount of space, which will amount to about 500 liters if you're only two of you traveling. Now, this car doesn't come with a proper spare wheel, but it does come with this puncture repair kit. So in case you get stranded, there is something that you can rely on. But having a spare tire is always a bit of a reassurance for someone who's going out of town. But since this car is primarily meant for the city itself, this should not be much of an issue. A small issue that you might face with this car is that it does not come with fast charging. Now, you have to understand that the Tiago EV also does not come with fast charging. If you want to go with fast charging, you have to buy the top of the line variant, which will cost you over 12 lakh rupees, about 3.5-4 lakh rupees more than this car. So if you really want that feature, you'll have to spend a lot of money. The EC3 also comes with a fast charger, but there again you'll have to pay about 3.5-4 lakh rupees extra even for the base variant. So while there is no fast charging, the charging from 10 to 80% takes only 5 hours, and if you want to be charging it from 0 to 100%, it can be charged in 7 hours flat. But not having a fast charger is a bit of an issue for me. So that's that, guys. This is a new experiment in mobility in India, and I really think that this is a very pertinent car, especially when it comes to the metros. It's not too expensive to buy, very economical to run, very practical for the city. It hardly has any flaws, and for those of you who already have a car to go out of the city to travel long distances on the highway, I really think this makes a lot of sense because it's really very convenient, and for congested areas you can really drive about without any problem whatsoever. So if you're looking for that kind of car which can be a second car, a city runabout, this one is very economical. Also, for the ones amongst you who want a car which saves them money over a period of time, which is not too expensive to own and not too expensive to run, and the purpose is essentially to drive around in the city, this car can definitely be considered. If you like the video, do hit the like button, subscribe to Motoroids, and until next time, this is your friend Amit Shanghani signing off. Rev hard, rev free, and drive safe.